Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got an exciting sports story coming out of Spain that's turning heads across the soccer world. Imagine this, a historic club, after years of ups and downs, finally makes its way back to the big stage, and the entire city shows up to celebrate. That's exactly what happened as Elche returned to Spain's top division, La Liga, with their season opener against Real Betis. We're going to dive into the atmosphere, the fans, the significance of this comeback, and even the players to watch. So buckle up, because this isn't just a match report. It's a story about passion, history, and how sports can unite entire communities. First things first, let's set the scene. Elche is a club with more than a century of history, but not always one of constant success. They've experienced promotions, relegations, and everything in between. After spending 2 years away from La Liga, this return marks a major milestone, not only for the team, but also for the city itself. For supporters, this wasn't just a game, it was the ultimate homecoming. Tickets sold out completely, and the stadium, known as the Martínez Valero, was packed to the brim. If you've ever been to a sold-out soccer game, you know the energy is electrifying. For Elche fans, this wasn't just about soccer. It was about reclaiming their place on the national stage. Paragraph 3. Now let's talk numbers, because the figures tell a powerful story. Elche reported having 27,000 season ticket holders this year, a record in their 102-year history. That's right, more fans than ever before have committed to supporting the team all season long. To put that into perspective, the only tickets available for non-members or traveling supporters were a little over 4,000 seats. That means demand was sky high, and the anticipation leading up to the opening match was unlike anything the club had seen in decades. Think about that. A community that rallied so hard behind its team that nearly the entire stadium was already spoken for before single-match tickets even went on sale. Of course, the opponent for this opening game added even more buzz. Real Betis, one of Spain's most popular teams, came to town under the leadership of their experienced coach, Manuel Pellegrini. Betis has a huge following, not just in Seville, but across Spain and even abroad. Their presence guaranteed that thousands of green and white-clad supporters would make the trip or at least show their colors around Alicante. The combination of Elche's historic return and Betis's traveling fan base meant that the match wasn't just a sporting event, it became a regional festival. A meeting point for two sets of passionate supporters who love their clubs deeply. What makes this even more impressive is how the fans behaved. Despite the rivalry and the high stakes of the game, both sets of supporters shared the streets peacefully, creating a vibrant mix of colors and chants. With soaring temperatures due to a summer heat wave, you might expect tension to rise, but instead, fans turned the day into a celebration. Streets leading to the stadium filled with flags, songs, and laughter, with both sides showing respect while still cheering at the top of their lungs. It's a reminder of how sports can bring people together, not just divide them. For many locals, the build-up outside the stadium was as memorable as the 90 minutes of action inside. The Martínez Valero Stadium itself deserves some spotlight. With a capacity of over 31,000, it's one of the larger stadiums in Spain, outside of the giants like Real Madrid or Barcelona. When filled to capacity, it creates a truly intimidating atmosphere for visiting teams. This match against Betis marked the first sellout of the new season, and likely not the last, considering the excitement surrounding Elche's return. Fans came early, waved massive banners, and sang club anthems in unison. For players stepping out of the tunnel, the roar must have been deafening. Imagine working your whole career for a chance like this, to play in front of a packed house, knowing the city is standing behind you, A key storyline for Elche this season is their new signings, and one in particular caught international attention: Fede Redondo. If that last name sounds familiar, it should. Fede is the son of Fernando Redondo, a legendary midfielder who starred for Real Madrid and Argentina in the 1990s. Fede arrives from Inter Miami, the same club where Lionel Messi now plays, bringing both talent and pedigree to Elche's midfield. While comparisons to his father are inevitable, fans are eager to see him carve his own path in La Liga. His arrival also signals Elche's ambition. They aren't just here to survive, they're here to compete. For a city like Elche, the impact of having a team in La Liga goes beyond sports. Economically, it means more visitors, more business for local shops and restaurants, and greater visibility on national and international television. Every home game brings in fans from across Spain, boosting tourism in the region. On a cultural level, it strengthens community identity. Generations of families pass down their love for the club, and children growing up now get to experience their team playing against some of the world's biggest stars. That's priceless, and it explains why the fan base has surged to record numbers this season. Now, let's put this moment into a bigger football context. Spain's La Liga is one of the most competitive leagues in the world, featuring iconic clubs like Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid. For a team like Elche, staying in the division is a huge challenge. But the beauty of football is that every season brings surprises. Smaller clubs can punch above their weight, beat giants, and write unforgettable stories. Think about Leicester City in England or Atalanta in Italy, teams that shock the world by defying expectations. Elche fans believe their team can do something similar, or at the very least, secure stability in the top flight for years to come. Back to the opening night, the atmosphere was more than just noise. It was emotional. For many fans, it was their first time seeing La Liga soccer live in their city in 2 years. Some older supporters who had followed the club through its ups and downs described the moment as a dream come true. Others said it felt like a family reunion, because going to games isn't just about watching soccer. It's about meeting friends, connecting with neighbors, and sharing traditions. When the whistle blew to start the game, the roar wasn't just for Elche. It was for every memory, every sacrifice, and every moment that had led to this return. Of course, soccer is ultimately about the players on the pitch. For Elche, the challenge was to channel all that energy from the stands into performance. Their squad is a mix of experienced players and young talent, many of whom had never played in front of such a massive crowd before. For Betis, meanwhile, this was a chance to prove their status as one of Spain's stronger teams. With international stars and a coach like Pellegrini, they came in confident but respectful of the occasion. The game itself promised intensity, tactics, and possibly drama, because opening matches often set the tone for the entire season. One thing that really stood out in this story is the role of identity. For Elche fans, their club is more than just a team. It's part of who they are. Wearing green and white isn't just a fashion choice. It's a symbol of belonging. That's why filling the stadium wasn't just about numbers. It was about making a statement. It said, "We're here, we're proud, and we believe in our team." Sports at its best creates these moments of shared identity where thousands of people, regardless of background, come together under one cause. And that's exactly what happened in Elche. Looking ahead, the season will be a long one. Elche will face giants like Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico, testing their resilience week after week. The fans know it won't be easy, but that's part of the excitement. Every game is a new chapter, every point earned a victory for the community. The fact that they started the journey with a sold-out stadium is a psychological boost. It shows the players that no matter what happens on the pitch, the city is behind them. That kind of support can make a huge difference in tight matches where belief and energy sometimes matter as much as tactics. For international viewers, this story is a reminder of why soccer is called the beautiful game. It's not just about goals or trophies. It's about passion, loyalty, and the stories that unfold along the way. A club like Elche may not have the global brand of Barcelona or Madrid, but in moments like this, they're just as important. Their story resonates because it's about ordinary people uniting for something bigger than themselves. Whether you're in Spain, the US, or anywhere else in the world, you can appreciate that feeling of belonging and the joy of seeing your team succeed against the odds. So as Elche steps back into the spotlight of La Liga, their journey is only beginning. Whether they fight for survival, chase mid-table stability, or surprise everyone with a push for Europe, one thing is certain: their fans will be there every step of the way. And that's what makes this story so powerful: the connection between a team and its community. As we follow their season, remember that sometimes the biggest victories aren't just on the scoreboard. Sometimes, the real win is filling a stadium, uniting a city, and writing a new chapter in a century-old legacy. Thanks for tuning in, and if you love stories like this, make sure to subscribe for more.